All right. What's going on, you guys? What's happening? Hope that everyone is cool. So welcome to the second class of the AI ads machine. Hope that everyone is doing really well. Today, we're going to be talking about launching and managing ads using AI. All right. We're going to have a kind of a combination of tools. All right. We're going to do this directly in the ads manager, which is my preferred method. Okay. We're going to do this in the ads manager, but also I'm going to share with you guys two tools today. Excuse me. I'm going to share with you guys two tools today that will allow you to kind of put your advertising or on Facebook pretty much on autopilot. Okay. So today we're going to be focusing on launching. All right. And then the next two classes, we're going to have one class on managing and pruning. And then we're going to have another class on scaling. And we're going to be using some of the assets that we built at Learn Marketing AI so that I'll show you and I can share with you these things and these classes that we have going on and you can follow along. All right. Now, with that being said, class number one was all about copywriting. Okay. So in class number one, you learn how to create copy, you learn how to create ads, you learn how to create everything. So today we're going to be grabbing those ads, we're going to be grabbing that copy, we're going to be grabbing those assets, and we're going to be launching them live. All right. So let's just jump right into it. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab and share my screen just a second because I want to grab my previous prompts and the advertising assets that we actually put together last time. All right. So let me do that real quick. So I'm going to share my screen now and we're going to get the show on the road. So this is the copy that I was using, right? That we created during class number one. All right. So during class number one, I went ahead and created this copy. All right. And we're going to be using for a PDF, a lead magnet that we put together for Learn Marketing AI. And the lead magnet is going to be the Q3 2023 report because we're recording this class. I'm recording this class July 5th, 2023. So we just come up with a report called the Q3 2023 AI marketing report or marketing AI report. So I'm going to use this to send traffic to that landing page. All right. So with that being said, let me actually start with a slideshow and we'll get this show on the road. So as you can see here, AI ads machine class number 2, how to launch and manage your Facebook ads using AI and using some tools. And we're going to get right into it. So let's jump right into it. The first thing that we need to understand is that machine learning, all right, machine learning and AI to an extent, Facebook and most of the advertising platforms, they've been using it for years, okay? Facebook has been using machine learning since they came up with the Facebook Pixel. Initially, the Facebook Pixel was kind of a novel idea, right? The Facebook Pixel was a novel idea because like it was just a piece of code that you would put in different pages in your funnel and it will track what people were doing outside of the platform, which was pretty cool because prior to that, we didn't have any visibility, right? Like we would just send clicks to a landing page and then hope people to, sign up or log in or download a thing or whatever. But since they created the Facebook Pixel, they've been adding more and more functionality to it. So they've been using machine learning to understand who is our ideal customer, who is your ideal customer for years. So there's nothing new here from the perspective of now, of course, we're going to be talking about AI. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tools, especially the tools that I'm going to be sharing with you. They are implementing AI more and more. But the main point is that Facebook and other platforms, other advertising platforms, they've been using machine learning for years. And that's something that we need to embrace. Okay. Now, at the time of recording this video, I say this caveat because things change, right, really fast. But at the time of recording this video, what's going to happen and what's happening is that targeting and finding our ideal audience is becoming easier and easier and easier as we go by. The reason why it's becoming easier and easier and easier is because, again, the advertising platforms are using machine learning and AI more and more and more in their algorithms. So now both Facebook and Google and other platforms, maybe that are not as advanced with advertising, right? Like TikTok and Twitter and whatnot, they're starting to use, or they're starting to kind of take away the power that we have as advertisers, right? To target and to kind of hone in and try to tweak a lot of things, right? It used to be more like a, the analogy that I always put out there is that running a Facebook ad or running a Google ad, it used to be a lot like flying a plane, with a lot of nuts and bolts and whatnot. But now it's looking more like, like driving a Tesla car. Okay. So if you ever seen a Tesla, if you ever seen a Tesla command, right, or the interior of a car, you will see that there's not much to it, right? There's not much to it. There's there's the steering wheel, and there's the pedals and whatnot, and there's these huge 7 or 14 inches wide like tablet, and you manage everything from there. But we went from a cockpit, like a pilot cockpit with lots of nuts and bolts and things that we could touch and we can change, into more and more the quote unquote Tesla era of running ads. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a lot of things happening in the different advertising platforms, but the advertising platforms, they're slowly starting to take away those little nuts and bolts that were there, and the buttons that were there, and the little things that we could change. And they're starting to use a lot more machine learning to actually target our ideal audience, which I think is a great move, right? Now, our goal, if we were like really focusing on targeting, for the most part, like that was, most of my career in advertising was like targeting the best possible audience and then figuring out the creative later. Right now, there's a shift, and there's going to be a shift, and continued shift, which is now that we can use AI to come up with great ads, and the advertising platforms are going to be more and more autonomous when it comes to targeting. Our goal as advertisers is to come up with the best performing ad, with the best performing creative ever. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit about that in the scaling phase, which is class number 4. But for now, I just want to share with you guys what we have been seeing, which is targeting has been becoming easier. And then we have been kind of going deeper and deeper into the creative side of things. Okay. Now, again, with class 1, now you have really good creatives that you can use. All right. So that's the first thing that I want to make sure that we understand, is that Facebook has been using machine learning for years. Advertising platforms, they're getting more and more machine learning, quote unquote, dependent as us advertisers. Now it's it's actually easier to target now our ideal customer than any other time. It's been getting easier to run ads on Facebook. Despite what people say, it's been getting easier. All right. Now, the one thing that you want to make sure that you have properly set up is your pixel. It's your Facebook or Google pixel. The reason why you want to have this set up the right way is because otherwise you will be flying blind. And otherwise, the machine learning behind these algorithms will not be able to optimize. Okay. The tools that I'm going to share with you, they will not be able to optimize properly. So this is something that has become really, really important. It's not just that, you could just have a Facebook pixel there and poorly configured and you can still get away with it. No, like right now, what happened after iOS 14 is that you really want to have your pixel set up, because everything will depend on feeding data back to the advertising platform in the best possible way, so that you can actually make decisions, and the machine learning behind the platform can actually make better decisions for you. Once you understand the importance of the pixel and proper attribution and proper setting up, you will understand how important this is, because then you can actually make good decisions. And all of the tools that we're going to be sharing with you throughout our next couple classes, they're going to work well. If you don't set it up right, everything will, things will not work for you. All right. So I just want to be really adamant with this. Now, the trick to making it work And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. And this is something that we have to learn with, servicing many, many clients and spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars every single month, is that the trick to set it up is to not just use the pixel. Okay. Like a couple years ago, you can just grab the Facebook pixel, the Google pixel, and have it everywhere in your funnel. And that was it. Right now, with iOS 14 and all of the data privacy thing that's happening, you don't just want to use the pixel. You must use a third-party tracking data tool or a third-party tracking tool. All right. My personal preference is AnyTrack, and I'm going to show you guys why. It's my personal preference, but there's AnyTrack. And by the way, I'm not affiliated to any of this. All right. You have Hyros, which is another really good tool. We're working with Hyros. We've been working with Hyros for a long time. We set up, like I set up at my agency and for my clients, we set up AnyTrack. And then another option that I've been working with a lot lately is Triple Whale. Triple Whale is pretty good. Okay. It's on the pricier side. So if we order this from least expensive to most expensive, AnyTrack is the least expensive, Triple Whale is the most expensive. All right. And they all have their own, bells and whistles. Now, AnyTrack for me is the one that is the best, I would say, value for what they do and for what it does. Of course, Hyros have the plugin, which you can install a Chrome plugin and it will, deploy, or it will show you data in the Facebook dashboard. Triple Whale has its own pixel tracking and its own little, way of calculating ROAS and whatnot. But in my opinion, AnyTrack is the best value for what we're trying to do. All right. So again, this is so important. I want to reiterate it again. Actually spend time setting up your tracking. Actually spend time setting up your tracking and your third-party tracking software right. Because again, if you don't do this, then there's a chance that you will be missing out on a lot of data. And then again, the machine learning on Facebook is not going to work. And then the machine learning on these other tools that we're going to be talking about, they're not going to work. All right. Or they're not going to be as accurate as you want it. Hire help if you need it. Go out there, go to Upwork, reach out to us, get somebody that can come in depending on because the tracking, the third-party software setup, it heavily depends on your tech stack. For example, if you're using ClickFunnels, if you're using Go High Level, if you're using, Kartra, if you're using whatever it is, Unbounce, HubSpot, whatever it is that you're using, you want to have somebody that takes care of tracking. And you can just hire somebody for a couple of hours on Upwork or on Fiverr and tell him, hey, listen, I want you to install AnyTrack and make it work with my Facebook pixel. If you can do it, that's great. If not, just hire help if you need it. This is really important because if you don't have the proper tracking in place, you will be losing money. And you will, and what's worse is that the advertising platforms won't be able to optimize and to find out who your ideal customer is, and you won't be able to prune effectively, and you won't be able to actually scale. All right. So these are things that are really, really important. All right. So let me show you why I think having a third-party tracking is so important. All right. And we're going to be using the Learn Marketing AI example as a way to generate sales and leads and purchases and customers through the tools that I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, I'm going to be creating a campaign from scratch. I'm going to be using tools from scratch, and I'm going to be using the copy that ChatGPT provided me with and the images that we got from ChatGPT. All right. Or from DALL-E, I should say. All right. Now, this is why it's so important that you set it up. Now, at the time of running these, I already have a small campaign. All right. I already have a small campaign, and I'm going to share with you guys that small campaign that I have running for this Q3 report, but we're going to recreate it. But the point is that right here, Learn Marketing AI and all of the funnels and everything, they're on Kartra. But this is something that you can set up with, again, any type of landing page builder or any type of tech stack. This is the main point. The main point is that you're actually getting this type of data coming in. So as you can see, these are all direct. By the way, this says direct. It should say emails, but I didn't use UTMs in my emails. Naughty or none. But here's the thing. So list subscription means that somebody subscribed to our list. right? And it came from this campaign. And the reason why AnyTrack can track this is because I set it up so that Kartra is sending all of the events to AnyTrack, and then AnyTrack is communicating with the Facebook pixel and sending this data back to the Facebook pixel. So as you can see here, this campaign right here, okay, so this campaign, this content right here, this term, this creative is the one that is bringing us these leads, all right? So as you can see, it says source, medium CPC, this campaign, this content. And now I have everything here. I have the click ID, I have everything. I have the email, I have the name, and then I can see what this person did. So today at 1:54, they went in a page view, then they submitted the form, and then they become a list description. So basically becoming a lead. Now, if you don't have this, if this person, for example, is rocking an iOS device, probably you won't have this data. So that's why it's so important. Then, for example, here we got a buyer. All right. So this is going back to Facebook. Okay. This is going back to Facebook. Now, this didn't came from a campaign. This came from an email. All right. But this is something that you want to do. So this is all data that AnyTrack is tracking through Kartra in this case, and then sending back to the Facebook pixel. Whether we run a campaign or not, it doesn't matter because because AnyTrack is making my Facebook pixel smarter. So this will save you time and money and machine learning. Because here's the thing, guys, when you are training the pixel through its machine learning, what happens is really simply is that you're spending money to train the pixel. The faster you can train it, the faster you can graduate, which again, we're going to see in class 4, graduation from stages. The faster you can graduate from stage 1 to stage 3, the fastest you can scale, and the lower you're going to pay per click and per lead and everything. All right. So that's why it's so important that you set it up. Again, AnyTrack is just one option, Hyros. We're not going to go that deep into this. We might create another workshop around this, but it's really important that you set it up properly. And again, hire help if needed, because it's really, really important. Okay. So that's the first kind of topic that I wanted to touch base on is why it's so important to have a third-party tracking tool. It's a must. Okay. Even when you're starting out, we're not spending much. I think we spent like $200 on this campaign, and I set it up from the beginning. So it's not just when should I start setting this up? What budget should I be spending? Like zero. If you want to advertise, you need to have a third-party tracking tool. All right. So with that being said, I also want to share with you guys the right column setup. Okay. This is what I call my ROI tracker. We're going to set this up together in the Facebook dashboard. And the reason why we're going to set this up together in the Facebook dashboard is because this gives me at a glance the vision that I need, that I require for me to make decisions, whether if I'm going to scale a campaign or whether if I'm going to kill a campaign or whether if I'm going to try new things. This at a glance allows me to see within the Facebook ads dashboard. I don't need to go to a third-party tool. I will, like I'll share with you, but this allows me to see pretty much everything at a glance in the Facebook ads dashboard. So these are the columns that we're going to be setting up. All right. We're going to be setting up, and I separated them in 2 columns. So this is on the dashboard. I separate them in 2 columns because the columns here on the left of your screen, they're called in Facebook metrics. All right. So everything that Facebook reports before the click. Okay. So this is before the click or up to the point of the click, I would say. So these are in Facebook metrics. These are metrics that Facebook can track. And these are out of Facebook metrics. So these are funnel metrics. All right. These are funnel metrics right here. So let me actually do something here real quick. Hold on just a second. So as I was saying, these are in Facebook metrics to your left and out of Facebook metrics to the right. In Facebook metrics are always going to be the same. Okay. So in Facebook metrics, delivery, reach, frequency, et cetera, they're always going to be the same metrics for your columns. Now, out of Facebook metrics will depend on your funnel. On this case, our funnel is really simple. We have a lead magnet. I'm going to share with you guys the funnel in a second, but we have a lead magnet, and then we have a purchase. Like people can immediately purchase something. All right. So we have a lead magnet that leads into a purchase, and that's it. It's a really simple funnel, two-step funnel. Now, depending on your funnel, you may want to have different metrics here on out of Facebook funnel. For example, or out of Facebook metrics. For example, if you're running an e-commerce store, you may want to have landing page views, cost per landing page views, right? This is pretty similar in all of our funnels. But then instead of leads, you may want to have initiate checkouts and cost per initiate checkout. Purchases, cost per purchase, and ROAS, that stays the same. Now, if you're running, let's say, a high ticket VSL funnel, instead of this, you might have leads and cost per lead, right? When somebody opts in to see the VSL or the webinar, then if you lead them to an application, you might have applications and cost per application, application submitted, that's the event. And then you might want to have purchase and cost per purchase, right? Or rather, you may want to have application submitted, cost per application submitted, schedules, like if people are scheduling a call, cost per schedule, and then you may want to have purchase, cost per purchase, and ROAS. So these metrics will depend on how many funnel steps do you have. Okay, but again, for the sake of this example, I'm just keeping things super simple in our funnel, and I'm going to share with you guys right now. But this is the right column setup, or the column setup that we use, and I call them ROI trackers. So let me actually share with you guys how we set it up. All right. So I'm going to go into my ads manager here, and as I share with you guys, we have this slide campaign running, which we're going to recreate in a second. But if I go here to columns, all right, if I go here to columns, I can go ahead and I can click this right here, which is my discover more column presets. All right. And then I can create a new preset. So I'm going to create a new preset from here, and then I'm going to start setting up all of my columns here. So I'm going to get rid of all of these bad boys. I'll get rid of all of this right here. And now I'm going to start with my columns the way you see them here on screen. The order is important, okay? The order is important because you want to take a look at delivery before you take a look at reach. If your campaign is paused, the reach doesn't matter. You want to take a look at impressions and what your CPM looks like before you take a look at unique outbound clicks, right? So this is in an orderly fashion. So CPMs, clicks, landing page views, leads, right? The actual funnel flow, you have the whole funnel flow here in your dashboard, which I think is pretty cool. All right. So let's go with delivery. Boom. Reach. I'm going to do that. We're going to do frequency too. Frequency is important when you're running to warm audiences because you don't want to burn them, okay, with a high frequency. We're going to go that later. Impressions. So delivery, reach, frequency, impressions. And then the next thing is CPM, okay? Because I want to see how many impressions I get. And then I want to see what's my cost per 1,000 impressions. Now I'm going to do this. This is a really important metric, okay? If you take a look at clicks, you have all of these things, all of the things like clicks, all link clicks, unique link clicks, blah, blah, blah. This is the one metric that I want to pay attention to. It's called unique outbound clicks, all right? So I'm going to do this, unique outbound clicks, cost per unique outbound click, and unique outbound CTR. So as you can see, I have unique outbound clicks, cost per unique outbound click, and unique outbound CTR. Again, all of the other clicks and all of the other CTRs, if I take a look at CTR, we have a bunch, CTR all, CTR link click-through rate, unique, outbound. So I want unique outbound CTR, okay? So that's the metric that you want to pay attention to. Again, unique outbound clicks, cost per unique outbound click, unique outbound CTR. All right. So the next one is going to be budget and amount spent. So these are my columns right here. And I always set up my dashboard like this. All right. So I have it like in the back of my mind. Okay. In the top of my mind, because this is always like this. All right. Now, up to this point, we have our in Facebook metrics. Okay, so up to this point, we have our in Facebook metrics. Now we need to set up our out of Facebook metrics. So in this case, I'm going to do landing page views, all right, total and cost, all right. So landing page views, cost per landing page views. Then the next one is going to be lead, All right, so leads and cost per lead. Now, in this case, I'm just gonna leave website leads. All right, just take this one, website leads and cost per lead. And then I'm going to set up leads, cost per lead, purchase. All right, purchase, total, and cost. So again, we're gonna just leave website. We're not tracking meta purchases. We're not tracking offline, mobile app. We're not tracking any of that, just website. And then I'm going to do ROAS. So I'm going to do purchase ROAS, return on ad spend. There we go. And then I'm just going to leave website. Now, again, these metrics might change depending on your funnel. Okay. Depending on your funnel, you might have a lead and an application and a book a call and a purchase. So depending on your funnel, you might want to tweak this. Right. So I'm going to save it as a preset. Now I already have a preset, so I'm not going to save it, but this is usually what I like to do. So ROI tracker. Well, let's just go ahead and we're going to replace it. All right. So that's my ROI tracker. And then I'm going to replace it. So that's always going to be there. So if I jump into this small campaign that we've been running for a little bit, and if I take a look at my ROI tracker, you will see that all of my metrics are here: the delivery, the reach, the frequency, the impressions, how much we're paying, CPMs, how many links, how many link clicks, what's my cost per unique outbound click, unique outbound CTR, my budget, the amount spent, how many landing page views, how many leads. All right. Now, as you can see here, 40 unique outbound clicks, 31 landing page views. This is important because people might click out of the ad, but the pixel might not load and whatnot. So that's why we want to have landing page views. Now we have 17, right, leads, website leads, and $12 overall per lead. Now we haven't gotten any purchase yet, all right, which is normal because we just started this bad boy. We just started it. So we haven't gotten any purchase yet. Okay. So this is how I set up my columns, and I always have it ready. This is my ROI tracker. If you have more than one funnel, you may want to have more than one ROI tracker, right? Like, for example, if you have like we do, like a lead magnet funnel or an acquisition funnel, you may want to have a ROI tracker for acquisition. And then if you do a webinar funnel, you might want to do an ROI tracker for your webinar funnel, depending, again, mostly out of Facebook metrics. Okay. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So the right column setup, this is what I like to have. And the reason why I set it up this way is because once we set it up, it's going to be much easier for us to optimize. Okay. So this is the ad launch structure that I like to personally use. All right. I like to personally use this. And this is, again, we're talking about launching. We're talking about building our campaign. I'm going to walk you guys through this in a second in the ads manager. But this is the ad launch structure that I like to run initially for every type of campaign that I'm running, especially when a funnel is new. On this case, everything is new. Okay, funnel is new, the ad account is new, the pixel is new. It only has a little, like maybe a week worth of data. So I consider this a brand new pixel, brand new account, brand new everything. We're doing it from scratch for you guys. All right. But the main point is that I like to set it up like this. I want to set up a conversion campaign right off the bat. Now, in this case, this campaign that we're going to build from scratch is going to be a lead gen campaign. Okay. We're going to get people into our list so that we can pitch them the hub. We can pitch them different offers that we have, different front-end offers. But we want to get people into opting in for a Q3 report, right? That's the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up 10 ad sets. All right. And this depends on your budget. I'm going to set up 10 ad sets at $10 a day. So we're going to be spending around $100 a day. All right. So 10 ad sets at $10 a day. And we're going to set it up in a really specific way. So as you can see, I have my conversion campaign here. My conversion campaign is going to be for leads. All right. That's going to be my event, the event that I'm going to be optimizing towards. Then we have ad set number one. We're going to have one interest per ad set. Okay. We're going to have interest one. So this is going to be, let's say, for this community, we're looking for marketers and entrepreneurs. So one of my interests could be digital marketing. The other one could be content marketing. The other one could be whatever. So we're going to have one interest. And then we're going to let Facebook optimize as much as possible. we're going to have automatic placements. We're going to have our best demographics, our best countries, right, in there. And at the ad level, we're going to be using dynamic ads. Because again, on this case, we're going to be testing ads, we're going to be testing audiences, and we're also going to be testing the funnel all at once, all right? We want to make sure that we get the right type of clicks. We want to make sure that we get the right type of ads. We want to make sure that we get the right type of interest. We want to make sure that we get the right type of copy, headline. So from this structure, I can mine a lot of data out of it. Okay, I can mine a lot of data out of it from this structure right here. Okay, so with that being said, let's do the walkthrough. I'm going to share with you guys 2 tools that these are optional. You don't need to use them, but I like them. I've used them in the past. There are many other tools. These are the ones that I like. And I'm also going to be sharing with you how to set all of this up in the Ads Manager. Okay, if you want to save the extra, like maybe $100 that Magix might charge you a month, or RevealBot might be like $50 a month. So you can do this, everything, you can do it in the Ads Manager. Okay. Now, Magic and RevealBot, they're different tools. They serve different purposes. And I'm going to walk you guys through that in a second. Okay. So with that being said, let's jump into the Ads Manager right here. And then what I'm going to do is, here we have the chat that we had. And let me actually take a look at this real quick. Just 1 second. Okay. So now I'm going to go into the Ads Manager in a second. All right. But the first thing that I want to do is I want ChatGPT to come up with ads or with actual copy for me, but instead of being for, you know, the general call to action that we have here on our mother prompt and whatnot, I want the call to actions to be around my Q3 2023 report. So that's exactly what I'm going to ask ChatGPT. So I'm going to copy one of my prompts, okay? And again, I went back to the prompt, to the chat that we had of the first class, right? So I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to ask it, I want you to act as a professional direct response copywriter. Using the information above, please come up with 5 variations of what this 100 word is. Each, make sure that you address. Now here, I'm going to change it slightly, all right? Using different styles and tone of voices. The goal of these Facebook ads will be to promote our quarterly report on the state of AI for marketers in Q3 2023. The download is free. Will be to promote our free quarterly report on the state of AI for marketers. All right, let's see what it can come up with. All right, so let's scroll all the way to the bottom. All right. Nice. So this is good. That's why we're thrilled to share our free quarterly report on the state of AI for marketers in Q3 2023. There's AI trends, tools, strategies, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you don't miss the opportunity. Click here, you grab your free copy. Pretty good, John. Pretty good. Okay, pretty good copy. Now, I just grabbed this that we went through like a week or 2 ago. I just went back to the chat, add another prompt, and, you know, the tool started giving me what I needed. Now, this is the power of content generation. All right, so I'm going to be using this, and this is actually going to be a pretty cool test because these ads, I created them. Now we're going to run them against ChatGPT ads and we'll see who wins. All right, that's going to be pretty cool. So let's start with our campaign here. We're going to walk you guys through the entire process here on the Ads Manager. So just going to click here. I'm going to click create, and now I'm going to go for leads on this case. All right. Now, again, you might want to go for sales. I'm just going to go for leads in this case. Okay, so I'm just going to click continue, and Facebook's going to take 15 years. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to name it the same way that I have it here, just for the sake of, you know, comparing and competing against each other. We'll see how it wins. Okay, we'll see which one wins. So learn marketing AI, which is our business right here. Now I'm going to do Q3 report, and then I'm going to name these conversions. Now I'm going to do this deep dive class. All right. Now, here's the thing. Generally speaking, I like to have one campaign per funnel. Okay. This is the way I like to do things. We're going to go into target cost campaigns. We're going to go into a little bit more advanced stuff in class number 4. But for now, just understand that I like to have one campaign per funnel. Okay. So for example, right here, I put Learn Marketing AI, which is, this funnel or this business. Q3 report is the name of the funnel, and conversions is if I'm running for conversion. So what am I doing? Like if I'm running clicks, what am I doing? Awareness, reach. The main point here is the campaign objectives goes here. Okay. Now the deep dive class is just for us to know. All right. So I'm going to go down all the way down, campaigns, objective, leads. That's fine. Now I'm not going to select this one, Advantage campaign budget, because when I'm launching a new campaign, I want to start setting up my ad set or my budget at the ad set level, not at the campaign level, but at the ad set level. Okay. So I'm just going to go there, and then I'm going to disable this, and it will automatically turn on the opportunity for me to set this up at the ad set level, not at the campaign level. All right. Now I'm going to move on to the next step, which is, excuse me, the ad set itself. And now I'm going to name this the way I like to name things, which is lead, right? Which is my conversion event. Now we're going to put the interest, which I don't know which is going to be right now. So I'm just going to leave it there. We're going to put men, women, 25 to 54. We're going to do big 5. That's going to be your targeting. I already know my targeting because, I already know who I want to target. We're going to be targeting men and women, 25 to 54, pretty broad. Big 5, that's going to be Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, US. And then I'm going to do auto placements, okay, automatic placements. And this is going to be a dynamic, okay, so dynamic ads. All right, so I have everything that I need to know from this ad set at the ad set name. So that's why naming convention is so important. This is my naming convention. You can go ahead and set up your own naming convention, but this is mine. All right, happy to swipe it. I'm happy that you swipe it, that you use it and whatnot. So I'm going to go with this, which is my website, generate leads through your website. As you can see, excuse me, there's many other options. Just gonna select website right here. Performance goal, maximize numbers of conversions. That's fine. Now I'm going to select my Learn Marketing AI pixel. All right, I'm going to select that pixel. And now I'm going to select my lead event here. All right. The reason why this is already active, you can select it even if it's not active and whatnot, but this is my pixel, this is my conversion event. That's why I put here lead. All right. I put here lead because that's my conversion event. Now, daily budget. Oh, we're going to turn on dynamic creative. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to set it up at $10 a day. I'm not going to set up an end date. It's just going to start when we start. And now here's where I start creating my own audience. All right. So as I mentioned, big 5. So that's going to be United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. All right. Boom. There we go. I'm going to change our age from 25 to 54. Pretty standard. And now we're going to do my first targeting. My first targeting could be digital marketing. Okay. Just go with the usual suspects. Don't overcomplicate your targeting. All right. From a perspective of who should I target? Who I shouldn't target. Just go with the usual suspects. If you're targeting people that are interested in dog grooming, just try dog grooming and see what Facebook comes up with, right? If you're targeting people that are interested in engineering, just put in here engineering and see what Facebook comes up with. Don't overcomplicate your targeting. The reason why I'm telling you don't overcomplicate your targeting is because we want to leverage Facebook machine learning, and we want to make sure that Facebook has enough audience to actually optimize. If you hone in too much, then that's going to constrain the algorithm, and that's going to hurt you, especially when you're launching, because you're going to be paying a premium for you to actually reach the audience that you want to reach. Okay, so just going to select this digital marketing, super big interest, 150 million people, right? And now I'm going to select Advantage Plus placements, which are automatic placements. All right. So I'm not going to filter any of this, any block list. I'm just going to let Facebook run wild because, again, I want to leverage Facebook machine learning. Now, I want to change this interest right here by digital marketing. Okay. Marketing. There we go. And now I'm going to go into my ad set or my ad level. So here I'm going to do dynamic ads. And I'm going to set it up for today, which is 07/05/2023. The reason I'm having this like this is because I want to see when I created these ads so that I can know if I need to refresh creatives. We'll talk about that later. All right. So this is my Facebook page. That's fine. We're going to run ads from here. This is my Instagram account. We can switch to here. Okay. So from this Instagram account, that's fine. I have an Instagram account for Learn Marketing AI. And now I'm going to unselect or deselect multi-advertiser ads. We don't want that. I'm just going to get rid of this. And now let's go to DALL-E and grab the images that DALL-E created for you. Actually, you know what? I think I have them here. So let me see. Yeah, I do have the images that DALL-E created for us in our last call right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 images. All right. Let me, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So we're going to select 10 images. Initially, when you are running a dynamic ad, you want to maximize the number of assets that you're putting in. So always try to have 10 images, right? Then we're going to leave this on optimize creative for each person. I'm going to do this perfectly. Okay, no problem. And now I'm going to grab the text that ChatGPT did for me. So here we go. So, hey there, fellow marketer, ever had that certain realization that world around us is rapidly changing? Boom, 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 boom. I'm just going to copy all of this bad boy and I'm going to paste it in my primary text. All right. We'll see how this works because, again, I like to split up the lines, etc., etc. I'm not going to do it. All right. I'm just going to let Facebook optimize and see if ChatGPT will win versus my ads. All right. That's going to be fun. So we'll see live. So I'm just going to select up to 5 options and I'm going to use them all. All right. So I'm going to go back here. Boom. Boom. Urgent tone. I'm going to do that. Just make sure that just make sure that you are, for example, stop scrolling. This is the information you didn't know you needed. This might be a little bit too in your face from a compliance perspective, which is going to run it and see what happens. But just so you know, all right. Hello, marketer, blah, 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 blah. Use the third one. Boom. And then I think we have another one. Oh, I need to continue generating. So I'm going to copy here. Oh, look at this futuristic tone. Yeah, it didn't finish this ad. So I'm going to ask it to finish the personal tone one. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to grab this here and then I'm going to ask it, please finish ad for personal tone. Or please rewrite. Okay. All right. There we go. So I'm going to put it here. And again, there's many things that I would do differently, but I'm not saying that it will not work. We'll see. All right. So, all right, there we go. So I'm going to grab it here. And now I'm going to ask it now, write 5 headlines that I can use in these Facebook ads. All right, there we go. So now it's going to write to me 5 headlines. All right. So I'm going to put it here. And all right, unleash your marketing potential, get your free quarterly report. All right, let's grab it. Now I'm going to add all of these headline options, all of them. Boom, 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 all of them. There we go. Cool. Let's see, revolutionize, blah, 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 blah. Again, we're just going to see what kind of results we get with these ads, all right? Which is going to be a pretty nice and interesting experiment. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We have our images, our DALL-E generating images. We have our 5 text, which again, you know, I might want to go in and tweak, but I'm not going to do it. I just want to see how they work without doing it. I'm going to check the headlines. Okay, maybe I might go ahead and tweak them, but not right now. And then I'm going to grab the website URL. Now, let me grab this from the other campaign that we have. Okay, so let me grab this from the other campaign. And all right, so this one. All right, so as you can see, I'm using the same images. That's fine. I just went ahead and changed and did the copy myself. All right, so I did the copy myself right here. And okay, so this is the website URL. I'm going to go back and paste it. All right, I'm not going to add any description because for me, it doesn't really move the needle. Now, browser add-ons, none. Call to action, learn more, that's fine. And then I'm going to leave this, all of this, okay? So I'm going to leave all of this. Now, the next thing that I do want to grab is from here. I'm going to grab my UTM campaign. Sorry about that, guys. Just a second. So there was oh yeah, there we go. All right, so this is something that AnyTrack gives me to properly track. So I'm just gonna paste it here on the URL parameters. Okay, there we go. And that's it. We have our first draft. We have our first campaign. And again, this campaign is gonna compete with my current campaign. As you can see, my current campaign is getting leads for around what? Around $12. We'll see if the other campaign will win it. All right, we'll win. So let's go ahead and let's publish this bad boy, because again, this is only just one ad set. And we want to do this. We want to set 10 ad sets. All right, so we want to set 10 ad sets. Now, the reason why I went through all of this first is because now I have my template. I have my campaign properly set up. I have my ad set properly set up. All right. And then I have my dynamic ads properly set up. So now all I need to do is I'm going to duplicate this ad set 9 times. All right. And then I'm going to just change the interest. Pretty neat, right? Because I already went through all of these steps so that I could go ahead and change just the interest. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the interest section. And I'm going to click on suggestions right here. And this is my process to find additional interest, nothing complicated, right? So just going to click social media marketing is going to be my next one. So I got rid of digital marketing, as you could see, right? So I'm just going to go in here and change digital marketing for social media marketing. Now I'm going to go to the next one and do the same thing. Scroll all the way down. Boom. Online advertising is a good one. All right. Got rid of the main one. And we're going to do this with all of my campaigns. So advertising, that's another good one. All right. So I'm just going to go up advertising. But as you can see, since I already set up my template, then this is much easier. Entrepreneurship, why not? We're targeting entrepreneurs too, so we're going to go for it. So entrepreneurship. There we go. Next one. Let's do a couple more. Content marketing. Yes, I'll take it. So I'm just going to change content because marketing is the same. Next one. I'm going to do marketing strategy. All right. And just a couple more to go. Marketing strategy. And as you can see, I'm using just one interest per ad set. Okay, this is kind of the way I like to launch things. Social media advertising agency might be a good one, but these are really broad interests. You see this 33 million people. These are really, really broad interest. Okay. Advertising agency. And 2 more. Let's see what we can see. Advertising agency. Advertising campaign might be another one. All right. Super broad audiences. Campaign, which is exactly what we want at the beginning. We want broad audiences. We want Facebook to have as much quote unquote audience liquidity. That's how it's called, audience liquidity, so that it can optimize for us. And then we're going to do, let's see, one more. Let's see, small business owners, because why not? All right, there we go. We're also targeting small business owners. So small business owners. There we go. All right, cool. So now what I'm going to do, since I want to be neat and tidy, as you can see, I have all of these copy things here. I don't really like that. So I'm going to select all of this. And this is my OCD. I apologize. I'm going to click on edit, just this little arrow down, find and replace. And I'm going to get rid of all of those copy at once. So I'm just going to put it here, copy. All right. So as you can see, space dash space copy. And then it's going to get rid of all of these copy for me. All right. Instead of me like going in every single one of these. Now I'm just going to hit the publish button. So here's what we did, guys. We just launched our first campaign. Now, let me show you what the funnel looks like while we're at it. I'm going to show you guys how the funnel looks like. And come on, man. And Facebook, of course, is going to take forever because I'm on Zoom and it's doing all of these things. All right. Oh, come on, Facebook. Come on. All right. Let me grab this. I'm going to open in a new tab. And as you can see, this is my landing page. Super simple, right? So I'm going to put here Hernan Plus test. I'm a digital marketer, and then send me my copy. And then it goes to this bad boy right here. Okay. So your Q3, it's on its way to your inbox. What this before downloading it. So we have a little bit of an upsell here with $27. All right. So if I click here, it takes me to the checkout page of this Kartra thingy. All right. So that's basically it. All right. So super simple funnel, 2-step funnel, and then we're tracking conversions. We'll see what happens. All right. So far, so good. We have our original campaign that we just launched, like probably, I don't know, 3-4 days ago. Okay. We spent $200. We got 17 leads. We'll see how this bad boy does. All right. So we'll see if our good friend ChatGPT copy can beat my copy. All right. So with that being said, so this is how you basically set it up and launch it from the ad manager. All right. From top to bottom. Then over the next couple classes, I'm going to share with you guys how you can actually optimize and prune and all of that good stuff. All right. So we'll have enough data. I'm going to leave this running for at least another week. Okay. And then live next week, we're going to go ahead and change it. Now, let me show you guys a little bit about these 2 tools that I was telling you guys about. We're going to be talking about these 2 campaigns. Okay. It's going to be Magix. Okay. This is the one tool that I want to share with you. And the other one is going to be RevealBot. Now, Magix is basically an all-in-one ads management platform, if you would. Okay. It's an all-in-one ads management platform. You can run your ads from here. You can scale your ads. You can stop your ads. You can basically understand who your ideal customer is. We're going to go much deeper into Magix because, again, this is a brand new campaign and a brand new thing and a brand new account and a brand new everything. So it doesn't have a lot of data yet. Okay. It doesn't have a lot of data yet. And this campaign is still in review, so it's not going to show up. But Magix is pretty cool. Now, something that, okay, so as you can see, we had Ads Manager 2.0, which is where I'm at right now. So you can go in, you can take a look at your columns. You can also see the columns here. Okay, so if you want to set up the columns, all right, so you can set up the columns. You can add more columns here in Magix in case you want to just optimize your ads from Magix, which is something that I don't usually do. All right, so you can see the ad sets here. You can see the ads, basically can see everything. All right. But this is something that I don't usually use. I use the Ads Manager for launching, but Magix has its thing. Now, as you can see, it also has a cloud tracking. So it's kind of like AnyTrack, which is not something that I definitely use or I haven't been using from Magix. This is a new feature that they have, but it allows you to use their own tracking system. Okay, they'll give you a pixel and all of that. But since I already have AnyTrack, I don't need this. All right. Now I can see the targeting insights. I can see, for example, the geo and the demo insights, so the demographics. So let's see what we have right here. Again, pretty new campaign. So it's just, starting to come up, right? Starting to come up. So as you can see, we have the total spend here, the CTR, we have how much money we have spent on the different demographics, right? So we have spent 45 to 54 mostly, then 35 to, well, actually, yeah. So cost per lead here, it's 35 to 44 is $10, 25 to 34, it's $23 cost per lead, right? So this is what Facebook will tell me. Now, again, pretty recent, okay? So my cost per lead is my KPI, but pretty recent. It will start filling up as we get more data coming in, okay? But this geo and demo insights is pretty cool. Then we have top countries. Again, let's see if I order them by amount spent. So I can get some insight here. But again, it's going to be, so cost per lead in the United States is 6,555, CTR, CPM, blah, blah, blah. So it will tell me basically what's going on with my demographics. Then we have landing pages, which we only have one landing page right here. Okay, well, again, pretty new campaign and pretty new data on Magix, but it will populate and it will help you guys see more data. That's, the way I like Magix, or the reason why I like Magix, is because it allows you to visualize the data in a different way than Facebook. All right. And then it will also do the audiences, which is something that is pretty cool. So as you can see here on the in Magix, I can set it up, all of these audiences. Okay. So if I have videos, like audience from people who watch more than 50% of your videos, I can create this audience right here, right? So for example, let's see, high AOV customers, like a lookalike of our high AOV customers. As we start getting purchase data, I can go ahead and create this. I can go ahead and create, for example, Facebook fans, right? A lookalike of Facebook fans, right? Like if I have website leads, I could go ahead and create a lookalike of website leads. Why? Because I'm starting to get leads. Still pretty early, right? But I could go ahead and create a lookalike of website leads. This is something that I'm going to be sharing with you guys when it comes to the scaling. But I just want to kind of share with you the walkthrough of the Magix. And now also what they just came up with, which is pretty new, is this one, the personal AI marketer, which again, this is on the new side because again, we just opened this account. We're just launching these ads. But as we start collecting more data, there's going to be more stuff here. Again, these are tools that allow you to scale more than launch. I like to launch in my own ads manager, right? I like to launch directly in the ads manager. You saw how long it took us, like probably 5 minutes to launch a full campaign, rather than using these tools. But these tools are good for additional bid testing. These tools are good for scaling and whatnot. All right. So again, I just wanted to kind of present it to you guys, and then over the next classes, we'll have more data here in the dashboard so that you can see what's going on. This is Magix and RevealBot, which is another tool. RevealBot, it's basically an automation tool. All right. It's an automation tool for Facebook ads that allows you to let's say scale ad sets or decrease ad sets or pause ad sets or campaigns, depending on some rules. It's much like the ads manager has embedded rules. Okay. The ads manager has embedded rules in it, but the reality is that it's much easier and simpler to set them up in RevealBot. Okay. So if this is something that you want to do. So for example, I just set this up. All right. I set this up, this campaign right here, this rule, but let's actually create a rule so I can share with you guys. And again, this is going to be mostly like a scaling or pruning rule rather than a launching rule. I don't think you can launch ads from RevealBot, which you can launch from Magix. Okay. But RevealBot is mostly like a scaling, pruning, kind of a managing tool rather than a launching tool. All right. So I'm just going to create a rule from scratch just for the sake of it. I'm just going to create a rule. Now I'm going to name this increase budget if cost per lead is less than $15. All right. So just for the sake of it. All right. So I'm going to select my ad account, which is already hooked up with RevealBot right here. Now, ad sets, this is going to be my filter. So all of the ad sets that are active. All right. So in this case, we're going to have 13 ad sets because I have 3 ad sets here that are active, 3 ad sets. And then I have 10 additional ad sets that we just launched. Right. So 13 ad sets, that's properly the way it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of notify, I just want to increase budget. So I'm going to select here. I click on this little bell right here. And then I'm going to increase budget by 20%. All right. For active ad sets only. I'm going to click save. And then increase budget 20% if my cost per lead, right? So my cost per lead over the past, let's say 7 days, including today, or actually over the past 7 days, the last 7 days, is less than 15. Okay. So if my cost per lead is less than $15 over the past 7 days, the RevealBot is going to increase the budget of that ad set in 20%. Now, I want to do this every, so instead of once a day, I'm going to do this action frequency. I want to do this once in 2 days. Okay. Because I want this to run once in 2 days. I don't want RevealBot to bump up my budget every single day. I want it to bump it up 20% every 48 hours, right? So I'm going to put it here every 48 hours. And then when it comes to run every 72 hours. So every 72 hours is going to go, and then it's going to check for active only by 20% once in 2 days. So if it already, so it's going to run, let's actually put it to run every 24 hours. But if it already scaled today, it's not going to scale again. Or if it scaled yesterday, it's not going to scale again. Okay. Now I can add it to notify me. I don't want to notify. All right. And the ad account zone, this is important because it's going to run once every 24 hours, depending on the account time zone. Okay. So in this case, I set up this ad account to Buenos Aires, but you can change the time zone. And then the attribution settings, it's going to be the ad set attribution, which, by the way, the ad set attribution, it's related to the conversion events in AnyTrack. That's why it's so important that in order for you to utilize the machine learning here and the capabilities of both Magics and RevealBot, if you so choose, is that you have properly set up your tracking. All right. So I'm just going to save it as a draft. I'm not going to set it up. We're going to wait until next class to see if we collect enough data over the next 7 days. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to just collect data over the next 7 days. And then we're going to go back and see what Magics can tell us, how RevealBot can help us. And then we're going to start going into our pruning and managing of our ads. All right. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that this was good for the first class. Again, we launched a campaign from scratch. We touched base on the pixel. We touched base on setting up your columns. We touched base on how to run campaigns from your ads manager. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll talk to you guys really, really soon. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.